Hello and welcome to the Underdog Racing League charity race tonight. Live from the Iowa Speedway. This is the RDK Bikes for Tykes 125, sponsored by Upper Hudson Coffee. Live from Iowa Speedway. Tonight's race, 125 laps, 109.37 miles. I apologize for a slightly late start here tonight. I was getting iRacing updated and it took quite a bit longer than expected, but tonight's race going on for a great cause, honoring Ron Kerberg, the memory of Scott's dad. Scott, the car we're looking at right here, the Arizona Cardinals machine. And tonight's race, you'll be able to help out and provide bikes for Tykes. They've already donated 19 bicycles so far, and we'll be posting the information here in the chat so you can donate to the cause yourself. The link right there, exclamation point Tykes, and you can join in and support a great cause. As the drivers are out here for qualifying, we're going to hear a quick message from Mrs. Pat Kerberg, and she'll let you know a little bit more about tonight's race.
Blessings to all of you who have participated in the cause Bikes for Tykes, honoring my husband, Ron Kerberg. Because of your good donations, we have 14 bikes to donate to children this Christmas, making their Christmas a happy one. Thank you so much.
That message was pre-recorded, and 5 more bikes have been donated since that moment. A lot of great people coming in behind this cause, and I remember as a kid myself, riding the bike up and down the street was one of my favorite things to do, and a lot of, I'm sure a lot of the drivers out here, they could probably say the same thing, really learned to love moving and going fast, and as a kid, really the best way to do it's on your bicycle. And so a great cause here tonight. If you want to join in and donate, please consider doing so. Check out the link in the chat we just posted, and it is exclamation point Tykes as we take a look at the qualifying times. Ian Baker up there on the top of the scoring pylon. James Loveland, the Underdog Racing League champion, he's currently second right now. Sean Huffstutler third, Brad Allison fourth, and David Buell the top 5 in the qualifying session. Definitely looking forward to a fun event here, and hope you guys enjoy, and thank you for tuning in to V-Speed. Let's take a look at Trevor Earhart, winner of the season finale in the Underdog Racing League just 1 week ago at the Texas Motor Speedway. He's currently 6th fastest and unable to improve on that lap time, as he's going to bring it to the apron and wrap up his session. Kevin Orlando Jr., one of the few drivers yet to take a time. And let's see if we can pull up Scott's race car here. See if we can get a view of his machine. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to until the race session opens up, but 1 minute until the race is going to start here. And we will actually put something on the screen here so that you guys can figure out how to donate. Alright, that should do it. We will grab that, put it down into Very easy to read position here for everyone. Exclamation point Tykes, and you can donate to the cause tonight. Bikes for Tykes, honoring Ron Kerberg, father of Scott Kerberg, who's in the race. And we are about to fire up the engines here. Let's get a quick command from our race marshal and take a look at our starting grid.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And you heard it there. A quick word from our Grand Marshal, Miss Pat Kerberg. In a race honoring her husband. Let's take a look at our starting grid in tonight's race before we take the green flag here tonight. Starting on the pole in tonight's charity race, it's going to be Ian Baker, the number 88 machine. A 23.019, great lap time there by Ian. So congratulations on the pole. With James Loveland going to be rolling off from the second position, season champion here, the Underdog Racing League. He finds himself on the front row to begin here tonight. Jake Williams going to be rolling off third, great lap time from Jake. And fourth going to be Sean Huffstetter, the number 94 machine. Brad Allison starting in fifth position here tonight. Trevor Earhart going to be rolling off in the sixth spot. Seventh is David Buell. Dylan Walterman going to be starting in the eighth position here tonight. Rolling off ninth, it's Douglas Wolcott. 10th position, it's going to be Nathan Morris. And 11th, it's Christopher Heights. 12th, Jordan Berry. 13th, Scott Kerberg. Kyle Hosley starting in 14th. Justin Stunard starting in 15th. Lance Durham starting in 16th. Scott Stouffer starting in 17th. James Willis starting in 18th. Ryan Sam's going to be starting in 19th. Kevin Orlando Jr. rounding out the top 20. And Nick Alves, 21st final driver in the field. As right now, the only driver on the track, I believe, or one of only a few, Scott Kerberg, going to do an honorary pace lap here, honoring his father. Some stories about the paint scheme on that race car. You see David Johnson, former member of the Arizona Cardinals, all over the race car. Scott's dad, Ron, was a big Cardinals fan because of David Johnson, who's from Clinton, Iowa. And his dad from the Iowa area. That's why they're racing here tonight at Iowa Speedway. The logo on the rear bumper of the car signifying the family farm that his dad and his brothers owned in Moravia, Iowa. So Scott out here doing an honorary pace lap to honor the memory of his father. And that is part of the race name here tonight, the RDK for Ron Kerberg. And the Bikes for Tykes 125. Sponsored by Upper Hudson Coffee. Like I mentioned already, they've donated 19 bikes, and you can join in the cause by using exclamation point Tykes. And such an awesome cause for these guys to come up with and be a part of. And some kids going to have a very happy Christmas with those brand new bicycles. And looking forward to seeing if we can raise a bit more money here and maybe get a few more bikes donated before the end of the night. But nearly $1,000 already being donated as the pace car pulls off. It's going to be Scott Kerberg taking off. He's going to lead a lap here. And the rest of the field on the pit lane as he does a commemorative lap around the speedway up in that high groove. The number 14 Cardinals machine going to lead the first lap of the race as the field now rolls off of the pit lane. But Scott Kerberg out here at Iowa Speedway. He will lead the first lap in memory of his father. What a great sight as he comes around the speedway. He'll catch back up to the pace car here, and we'll get settled and realigned and begin this race officially. But 125 laps here at the 7/8 of a mile speedway. Tonight's weather in Newton, Iowa is 77-degree air temp, 79-degree track temp. Should be plenty of grip for these guys around this speedway. Such a fun racetrack. Multi-groove racing is available. You can make all kinds of lanes work here. Should be a lot of fun to watch tonight. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on V-Speed and supporting the cause, the RDK Bikes for Tykes 125, sponsored by Upper Hudson Coffee. I'm trying to see if there's any more information we need to get out here before we continue on our way in tonight's race. I want to give a big thank you to Pat Kerberg for her contributions to the broadcast here tonight with the command and with the thank you. We'll play that a few times through the broadcast, and it was pre-recorded, so they're up to 19 bikes donated, and hopefully we can get a few more here before Christmas comes. Such a great cause. We're going to see if we can get the information for Upper Hudson Coffee and share them. Located in the Upper Hudson River Gorge, North Creek, New York, up there in the Adirondacks. That's awesome. I'm from upstate New York, so I'm very familiar with the Adirondacks. See if I can get the link to their Facebook page here in the chat for everybody. All right, and then here's the info for Upper Hudson Coffee. Check those guys out at the Facebook page there. Go give them a like for supporting tonight's cause, the Bikes for Tykes 125, sponsored by Upper Hudson Coffee once again. And in memory of Ron Kerberg, I want to apologize if we are dropping frames. We've had some connection problems here tonight. Took a long time to get the sim updated, and we'll try and get this under control as soon as possible. It's been the last few broadcasts we've had some issues with the upload bitrate, and trying to get that all figured out. Hopefully it stabilizes here very soon. But some of the lap cars there are going to go back around. They'll get the wave around, and I think it's going to be a single file restart. But perhaps a couple drivers will be able to go on the outside lane. We'll have to see how things kind of settle out. iRacing's a little bit funky when you do things against what's the general course of action here. So we'll see how they get this all figured out. But again, check out Bikes for Tykes donation link using !Tykes and also !Upper Hudson Coffee, or UHC for Upper Hudson Coffee. It looks like perhaps the connection has stabilized, so we'll see how things end up going here throughout tonight's race. Please let us know if you notice any issues with the stream. And again, appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight for this great event. Thank you for the subscription, The Real Mayo. That is 3 months. Thank you for the 3 months of Prime for tuning in here tonight. Just getting started here in the RDK Bikes for Tykes 125, sponsored by Upper Hudson Coffee, and about to get the true first green flag as the field works their way out of turn number 4. Scott Kerberg from the front row here. He's got Ian Baker, green flag in the air, and we are underway in the Bikes for Tykes 125. Cheer on your favorite driver in the chat. Let us know who you're rooting for as they make their way down in through turns 1 and 2. James Loveland nearly made contact with Ian Baker. Would not have been the best way to start this thing, but Scott Kerberg able to hang on to the lead for right now. And we'll see if Ian can make his way around. Scott qualified about 13th position. Ian very quick. Obviously the pole sitter here as he works to the outside. Now Scott down in that low lane. Got Ian Baker all over the back bumper, but Scott going to be able to hold him off here through turns 1 and 2. Rolling out at turn 2, good run there. He's got a car length advantage over the 88 machine. Through 3 and 4, he chooses the middle lane. Here comes Ian working that low line, that multi-groove racing coming into effect, but Ian can't quite get there. So Kerberg going to continue to show the way, but here goes Ian looking to the inside. He might get him here. He has to back off a little in the center. And the 14 up in that high groove, able to hang on to it. But look at this, Scott Kerberg, the number 14. The honorary pole sitter, essentially. And here comes Ian, though, to the inside. Can he make it work this time? Side by side across the start-finish line. Scott continues to show the way, but Ian now gets the nose out in front here in turns 1 and 2. And I think that is it. Scott Kerberg losing second now to James Loveland. And he's going to start to drop now that he's kind of stuck up there very high. He'll drop back to the 4th position now. 5th is Jake Williams going to the inside. And the 97 of Trevor Earhart. I'm not sure if Scott just giving up the positions here and starting to drop back to where he would have started. But needless to say, he led some laps and showed some pretty good speed there in those first few. Hey, it's me, Cooter, cheering on Ian Baker, who shows the way here at Iowa. If you're not familiar with the track, a great little 7/8 of a mile speedway here in Newton, Iowa, as the field works their way out of turn number 2. Ian Baker shows the way. James Loveland now 6.5 tenths behind. Sean Huffstutler right on his back bumper. And Jake Williams, Trevor Earhart, Brad Allison, Dylan Walterman, David Buell, Nathan Morris, Scott Kerberg battling for 9th and 10th right now as they are very close side by side. The Cardinals machine there to the outside. Now he's going to lose another one as Douglas Wolkett rolls to the inside. Here comes Kyle Hosley, going to move on by in the Octane Visual 04 Camaro. We are still under green. First caution thrown by the admins to get everything back sorted out. And everybody pretty much single file. A little battle back here. 33 of Justin Stunard looking to the inside of James Willis. And the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. going to move to the inside. Saw Kevin have some pretty good runs in the latter portion of the season. A couple opportunities to snag some wins, and right now towards the back of the pack. Behind him, it's James Willis now, who gets right to the back bumper, and he's going to go to the outside of what's showing as the 53 machine. That is Ryan Sams. Oh, no, rather that is Jordan Berry. His car not showing up as what it's scored as in the sim, and Ryan Sams, the 6 machine, he's also being shown as, well, looks like the 52. Oh, and he gets a big hit from James Willis. Nick Alves didn't start the race. Oh, and James really struggling here. He tags the inside wall, and he'll take it behind the wall. That car destroyed already as Ian Baker puts number 18 up on the board. And he's now out in front by about twice the margin he was previously, 1.25 seconds. And the battle for second starting to heat up, just a car length between Loveland and Huffstutler. As the leader, Ian Baker, driving away. We saw Ian have some fantastic races at the very end of this season. Multiple runner-ups. I think it was 3 in a row to end the year. And had a good shot at potentially winning at Texas. And right now this battle for second not quite heating up as much as I thought, but there is a third car starting to get reeled into that. That is Jake Williams, the Roadkill Garage Camaro. And he's pulled out in front of Trevor Earhart in that Big K throwback scheme. I believe Darrell Waltrip, Todd Bodine, they all ran a similar scheme to that. Brad Allison not far behind as well. He's in that 6th position, and then Dylan Walterman in 7th, David Buell 8th. But pretty equidistant between each of these race cars. Other than right up here in that battle for second. Let's go on board here with Sean Huffstutler and see what he is dealing with right now. See lifts entering into turn number 1. Got to get that car turned down in the center. Over the bumps there between 1 and 2. Out of turn 2, right in the tire tracks of James Loveland. Not able to make any gains through there. As you can see him roll the center just a little bit faster than James, and James a little bit loose on exit. But they stay right about 1 car length separated, and now he's going to dive it to the inside. That's going to open up the door as James kind of overshot the corner in anticipation of perhaps the 94 making it down underneath. But James Loveland going to lose some spots. He tagged the wall, I think, in the middle of the turn there, just overdrove the entry. He'll drop from 2nd all the way back to 5th position. Now that battle for 3rd is going to start to heat up. Jake Williams in front of Trevor Earhart and Loveland. And Earhart, who had a absolutely dominating race at Texas, looking to try and follow that up with another strong performance right here in the top 5. So some good racing action in the early laps of this. Already a 5th of the way complete. As Ian Baker is just driven away from the field, 2.7 seconds and climbing. He is on another level here at Iowa Speedway. Started on the pole. He has led 16 laps. In those 16 laps, he's been at least a 10th quicker almost every single lap. Last time by, over a 10th faster than Sean Huffstutler, who rides in that 2nd spot now. Another car starting to climb up here towards the top 5. Brad Allison in the 6th position, just about 4 or 5 car lengths back of the 56 car. Actually, a little bit more than that. Oh, but Loveland struggling again. Very loose out of turn 2. And I am a bit surprised by that. Maybe the cold temperature is not to his liking here at the Iowa Speedway. Or actually not cold, but maybe he is used to something more of a hot racetrack or a tighter race car here. I'm not exactly sure, but it can be very tricky making your way out of turn number 4 and turn number 2 here, as he gets a little bit loose there out of turn 4, and the gap between himself and Brad Allison starts to shrink even more. And oh, Jake Williams a little deep into that corner. Here comes Earhart looking to the inside. So easy to hit the bumps wrong, as they are going to trade positions Earhart deep send into 3 and 4. And the 29 of Williams going to try and cross him back, but not going to get there, and he'll fall to the 4th position. Ian Baker, 3 seconds now, the margin. Here's a battle starting to develop. Dylan Walterman, David Buell. Dylan able to hold him off for now. He's actually increased that margin pretty significantly. Looks like we might have a battle back here, though. 22 of Nathan Morris in 9th position, and Douglas Wolkett, the Butterfinger machine, right there behind him. He has closed right up, now looking to the inside, not able to get there. But still 3 car lengths or so between them. No real battles otherwise. But Brad Allison now actually has reeled in James Loveland. That margin just about a half car length as they work through 3 and 4. He is there, looking to get into that top 5. James Loveland going to pull down low. I think he's just going to let him pass, knowing he's struggling with the race car. Remember James talking last week after celebrating the championship. He was pretty new to the sim here and was blown away that he was able to win a championship. But, you know, a 5-victory season often going to lead to that, especially when you only have a 13 race schedule. And he learned something after the first few races of the season, and really the switch flipped. I think he was able to go on a huge win streak and absolutely pull away in the standings. But not quite the speed that we saw from him at some of those races here tonight. He's riding in that 6th spot after starting on the front row, and a bit of right front damage definitely hindering his progress here so far. And trying to find another battle. It's still just right here around the top 10. Douglas Wolkett now to the inside of Nathan Morris as they go side by side through 3 and 4. Wolkett trying to complete the pass. Still not quite able to. Morris has it wound up on the high side, and behind them, Kyle Hosley. He's started to reel in this battle. Oh, and they make some contact. Wolkett trying to hang on to it. Oh, and he's going to overcorrect into the 04. They slam the wall. And Douglas Wolkett, losing a lot of spots now, falls to 13th. They get passed up by Stunard and Kevin Orlando Jr. And now maybe some tempers flaring as the 04 really pinching down the 1. And I would not be surprised to see something happen, potentially. It may be a charity race, but everybody still wants to win. And right now, the 1 car in some trouble. The 04 of Hosley in some trouble as they get passed up by Jordan Berry. Lance Durham trying to make the pass. Scott Kerberg right there behind them. Scott did tag the wall. It looks like a bit of right front damage. Riding in that 16th spot, he's led a few laps here tonight as the honorary pole sitter. But the true qualifying pole sitter, Ian Baker, putting some drivers a lap down now. That's the 21 of Christopher Heights. He's already lapped Ryan Sams. And still 19 cars on the racetrack, a third of the way through this race. And they are just clicking laps off. Lap times right there in the high 24-second range. Fastest driver on the track last time by Jake Williams with a 24:55. And actually, yep, he is the fastest. James Loveland lost a lot of speed at 25.4 as he drops to the 7th position now. But the margin of the lead, Ian Baker, 3.3 seconds up on Sean Huffstutler. And that margin continues to either remain the same or grow lap by lap. Trevor Earhart a bit farther back in that 3rd position, the big K car. Let's take a look off the nose of his machine and see where those guys are out the windshield. the Texas winner from last week in the 3rd position. Gavin the Baird, thank you for tuning in. This is the RDK Bikes for Tykes 125. If you're interested in donating, use that link or the command you see up there on the screen, hashtag or exclamation point Tykes. Get my words mixed up here, and that will show you the link to donate to the cause. We've already purchased 19 bikes for donation, and such a great cause. A lot of kids can be very happy at Christmas time here in just a few weeks. But not too much action up towards the front. The top 5 separated by 7.9 seconds, and now Dylan Walterman. Oh, rather that's actually the 52 and the 03, but Brad Allison in that 5th spot. Dylan Walterman in 6th. He leads James Loveland here by just about 0.3 of a second, and then it's another 2 seconds back to David Buell, all on his own. He's pulled away from Kevin Orlando Jr., and Justin Stunard has not been able to keep up with Kevin. So the top 10 separated by 14.4 seconds, and there's only 24-second laps, so we're going to start seeing some cars up there in the top 15 lapped shortly. Nathan Morris dropping some positions. He was up in the top 10 and now falling behind Lance Durham. And oh, we got a car on pit lane. That is Justin Stunard bringing it down. Started in the 15th position, and he had charged his way all the way up to right around the 10th position. Pulls into his pit box and going to get some service to that vehicle. We'll see how that affects him, if he can get some type of an advantage on the other drivers. And trying to see if anybody else is bringing it down the pit lane. Does not appear so just yet. Oh, here comes Sean Huffstutler, it looks like. Welcome, Blazer Pete. Thanks for tuning in. Right behind him, it's going to be trying to figure out what vehicle that is. Oh, Christopher Heights, who had gone a lap down. He's just coming right there in front of, I think that's Jordan Berry. Oh, and he missed his box big time there. Still trying to find it. Out there at the front, though, your leader remains on the racetrack. Trevor Earhart going to break down the pit lane. And right behind him there, the 29 machine, that is Jake Williams. He brings it down the pit lane. Kyle Hosley, Kevin Orlando Jr., and others all coming down. Scott Kerberg, looks like he might be bringing it in this time. We'll have to take a look here. The 91 machine of Durham, he's going to pit. So Durham brings it to the pit lane here. And we had a car miss. That was the 20. Trying to see David Buell actually showing us the 52 on the timing and scoring, but he missed the pit lane. Initially, he did get on here, but now as the pit cycle continues, Ian Baker brings it down the pit lane. He's already completed service on that race car, and he'll exit the pit lane, 6th position, and first car 1 lap down. We'll see how some of these early birds getting on the pit lane get back on track. Trevor Earhart up to speed coming out of turn number 2. He's going to cycle out to 2nd behind Ian. Ian comes out of turn number 4. Trevor about 3 or so seconds, 3.5 behind him. As Brad Allison, your leader right now, has not pitted, and it looks like the rest of the field has brought it down, but Brad with currently a whole lap advantage. Now he's going to bring it to the pit lane, 53 laps in, and I don't think they'll be able to make it from here. It's going to be at least one more stop, probably within the next 30 or 40 laps, and that will take them to the end. But Dylan Walterman completing service. Ian Baker takes over the top spot once again, and we'll see what the margin is back to Trevor Earhart. As Ian closing in on the back bumper here. Nathan Morris just exiting that pit lane. Nathan about to go a lap down. I think a bit confusing at these short tracks with the timing and scoring only updating every so often. He will put a lap on Nathan Morris, and Nathan rides in 9th. So that is looking like it's only 8 cars on the lead lap. Gonna have to see how this all works out. The timing is all messed up right now as Ian Baker now moves to the top of the pylon, and things are still starting to work out here. I think we only have 8 drivers on the lead lap, 7 drivers. But Ian Baker absolutely dominant in this race, and he was one of the top 2 drivers at Texas last week. Just came up 1 position short of the win, but he has led 40 laps here. They're starting on the pole, and he'll put a lap there on the 03 of Brad Allison. It looks like he may have had a bad pit stop or an issue getting onto pit lane. Not sure if he locked up the brakes. I didn't really see, but over a minute on pit lane. And not exactly sure what was going on there, but 7 cars on the lead lap, so Ian Baker putting up an incredible pace here. Nathan Morris, first car 1 lap down, right there behind him. Actually has fresher tires, but not able to get back past him. He'll look to the inside down the front stretch, but Ian not going to necessarily let him play a role here. As the next car up in front of him, Jordan Berry, 7th position. Started in 12th, but he has moved up through the field just a bit. Still on the tail end of the lead lap, though, is the leader. Ian Baker not too far off in the distance. David Buell right here. He's second car 1 lap down. He's looking to try and get up there and battle with the 22 to get that lucky dog position. Pretty uneventful race right now, though, as Ian Baker continues to show the way. We're going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Oh, and I've been on mute here since we returned for commercial break, but if you're just joining us, this is the RDK Bikes for Tykes 125, sponsored by Upper Hudson Coffee from the Iowa Speedway. 125 laps here tonight, just over 100 miles, and we are past halfway. Ian Baker absolutely dominant, out in front by 3.6 seconds. And right now, just 8 drivers on the lead lap as Nathan Morris got back on the lead lap the hard way. We'll see if he can stay there and how much of a role that plays with the speed of the 88 car. But if you want to join in on the cause tonight, donate to the Bikes for Tykes. They've already been able to purchase 19 bicycles, and such a great cause. You can use the command !Tykes. You see it on the screen. And that will show you the link. We just put it in there, so you can check that out. Also, use the code !UHC for Upper Hudson Coffee to learn more about them, and check them out on Facebook and throw them a like over there. But let's take a look at the ticker once again. Ian Baker showing the way, 3.6 seconds out in front to Trevor Earhart in that second position, last week's winner at the Texas Motor Speedway. Third place right now is James Loveland. Looks like he might have used the fast repair and gotten that car back in tip-top shape. He rides in that third position, though. Dylan Walterman, 15 seconds back in fourth. What a dominating performance by Ian Baker, and perhaps some pit road mistakes costing a few drivers. Jake Williams was on pit road for over a minute, and he finds himself 13th, one lap down. So a few drivers making mistakes. Brad Allison also on pit lane over a minute. Sean Huffstutler, 1 minute 28 seconds, and he's in 17th position. He was up there in the top 3, and still finds himself kind of in that spot, but for some reason down here in 17th on the on our scoring pile. And we will probably have to update here just to make sure. Things got kind of shuffled up there, but Ian Baker well out in front, 4 seconds now, the gap over Earhart. And let's see if we can find any battles on the racetrack. Everybody's separated by a good margin, but Jordan Berry trying to chase down Douglas Wolkett right here, 6th and 7th. On board with Jordan right now. As he is just over a half second behind, and these guys on the tail end of the lead lap, just about 4.5 seconds in front of the leader, trying to stay there, as Ian Baker on a blistering pace right now. Last time by 24:19 was the lap time. About the same as Douglas Wolkett, who rides in the 6th position, but Douglas right here, he is that time by about 3/10 slower than your leader. Fastest car on the track was James Loveland with a 24:14 to the leader's 24:17. Trevor Earhart with a 24:16. So those three by far and away the fastest on the track, over 2 or 3 tenths faster than anyone else. But some of these guys doing their best to stay in the fight without going a lap down, as we are about, well, now 75 laps into this thing, and just the caution at the start to get the field stacked back up after the honorary pace laps by Scott Kerberg. And we are going to share the message once again from his mother, Pat, and just thank you all out there for tuning in and supporting the stream.
Blessings to all of you who have participated in the cause Bikes for Tykes, honoring my husband, Ron Kerberg. Because of your good donations, we have 14 bikes to donate to children this Christmas, making their Christmas a happy one. Thank you so much.
It's such a great cause for sure. Bikes for kids, Bikes for Tykes is the cause here tonight. But getting kids some brand new bicycles. I think it's about $60 a bike, and they have already purchased 19 of them. So definitely off to a great start. And that message, of course, pre-recorded by Pat, and they were able to buy 5 more bikes. It's over $300. That is no joke at all. And hopefully They can get a few more purchased here. But check out the link using !Tykes, and you'll be able to purchase or be able to donate towards the cause as well. But Ian Baker on an island out there all by himself. 4.4 seconds. The margin continues to grow. Let's take a look at Justin Stunard. We do have another race car on the pit lane. Looks like the number 6 of Ryan Sams. Started back in the 19th position, riding in 18th, currently 3 laps down. And he'll pull into the pit stall here. Just to get it in to the box the right way, and he'll get service started on that race car. This will probably be his last stop. 45 laps to the end for him. And we'll see if anybody else elects to bring it down a little bit early here. Really, nobody's going to be able to pass Ian Baker. They'll have to pit about 4 or 5 laps before him, and it will have to be Trevor Earhart as the next closest. James Loveland, 11.6 seconds back. So nobody really keeping up with the top 2. And just trying to see if really any battles. Not a whole lot going on. Everybody fairly evenly spaced out. We do have Scott Kerberg racing it up now side by side with Dylan Walterman, but those guys not on the same lap. Scott now 1 lap down. And then about another 17 seconds back, so about 1 3/4 laps down, as he still rides in 12th. Actually a pretty good run for him here. Qualified at the 13th position. He led those first 10 laps, the honorary pace laps, and ran a few under green out in front too. He was able to hold off Ian Baker for about 3 laps, and then Ian took off and has yet to be caught or even kept pace with throughout this entire race. But Scott did have a good little showing there out at the front. Right now settling just outside the top 10, but not too far behind Jake Williams up here in the 29 car. Jake with the pit road issue, 109 on pit road. Not sure if it was a speeding penalty or what happened exactly, as it's not showing an extended pit stop. It was just showing more time on the pit lane. So I'm not sure if maybe with the update our data is coming across a little bit differently, but either way, he is out of the top 10, and after having a top 5 run going, going to try and recover here. But he has 3.2 seconds up to Kyle Hosley, who got involved early on with a bit of contact with, I believe it was David Buell, who rides 1 position in front of him, but well up the road, about 4 seconds. And then up the road from him, Nathan Morris got put a lap down once again, so 8th position in the lucky dog spot. And he has 6 seconds to the next car. Look at that big slide out of turn 4. He is definitely wheeling that thing, trying to keep it in eye shot or earshot of the 88. And right now he is duking it out with the 94 machine. Sean Huffstetler showing him 2 laps down, 1 minute and 28 seconds on the pit lane. That will definitely do it. As we've got another car on the pit lane, Kevin Orlando Jr., who now is showing his 2 laps down. Not sure what happened to him, but we'll see how he gets going here through the pit cycle. See if he can get back up inside the top 15 as he pulls into his pit box. And waiting for somebody up a bit further. Looks like David Buell is going to bring it in. He's got some right front damage on the 20 machine. We'll see if he gets that repaired, but these are going to be the last stops for these drivers. He slides into the pit box. No issues there. And it looks like Jake Williams going to bring it on. He really was cooking it, trying to get onto the pit lane. Behind him, another driver. Looks like Justin Stunard going to bring it down the pit lane. Meanwhile, the lead for Ian Baker up to 6.3 seconds. He has this place dialed in. That car is dialed in, and he is just driving away in a completely different zip code. It's Trevor Earhart just entering turn 3 as Ian Baker already on the front stretch. But Trevor, definitely the closest competition to Ian right there. He was the fastest car on the racetrack, but just by a couple of hundredths, which is not enough to close up 6.4 seconds. But definitely big props to Trevor for at least keeping it in the same galaxy as the 88. Right behind him now, looks like Christopher Height's going another lap down. He is now 5 laps down. Right there behind him, the 03 machine of Brad Allison, who had the mistake on pit road as well. He rides in the 10th spot. Looking for some battles on track. Kyle Hosley just exiting the pit lane, I think. Just up on the racetrack. Oh, we might have could have a black flag for that. As he keeps it on the apron, I think he is going to have to bring it back down. Probably getting the black flag for unsafe pit exit. As Sean Hustutler back on the pit lane, unable to get back into a position to earn one of his laps back. And he will begin service. Scott Stouffer on pit lane as well. Haven't heard much from Scott, but in the 12th position right now, started 17th. And also Kyle Hosley brings it onto the pit lane once again to get that black flag service completed. Looks like he'll just put some more tires back on it too. Trevor Earhart brings it down from the 2nd position. And when does Ian Baker respond to that? Looks like it could be this time. It will be this time. Can't make any mistakes here getting onto the pit lane. Very conservative. And slowing it up right before the line there. So Ian Baker going to bring it down. Does James Loveland pit this time? Yes, he does. Jordan Berry, the next one in line. Does he bring it down? Up there in that high groove, he's going to have a hard time bringing it in, and he is going to get it slowed up. Try and get it slowed up. At least Nathan Morris now. He gets very loose in the corner. It looks like he'll bring it in. And through all of that, Ian Baker showing as your leader still. I am not exactly sure what happened there. Some things kind of messed up again in the scoring. We'll see how much of a gap closed up by Trevor pitting a lap earlier. Things just cycling out. Still shows Ian as your front runner, but the margin to Trevor Earhart has decreased significantly. So the undercut working just a little bit for Trevor this time. He decreases the lead from about 6.5 seconds down to 2.9. He was on pit road longer, but must have had a really good in-lap and out-lap. And Ian was a bit conservative getting onto the pit lane, so that might be the difference right there. But the margin just 2.6 seconds, and Trevor, he's going to be on a mission here as we're getting close to lap 100. It has been the Ian Baker show. Scott Kerberg yet to pit. Only a couple drivers yet to pit under this cycle. Kerberg in 3rd, and Brad Allison in that 5th position. Brad was one of the last to pit during the first cycle. And he will remain on the racetrack for a little bit longer. Justin Stunard right there behind him. He's on the same lap time, or same lap, and he's going to try and move up into the top 5 behind him. Dylan Walterman also going to try and make his way in there. We could see some issues as we've got cars on different strategies, different speeds, and they both make it around Brad Allison with no problem. I recall Brad had a pretty good run last week as well, but was not able to match the speed of Ian Baker or Trevor Earhart in that race. And once again, those two out in front just flip-flopped from the finishing positions at Texas. Tonight's race being run in honor of Ron Kerberg, father of Scott Kerberg, honoring his memory here in the Bikes for Tykes 125, sponsored by Upper Hudson Coffee. I want to thank his wife, Pat Kerberg, for giving us the command here to start engines, as well as the big thank you and helping out her son Scott with setting up the having the broadcast done and the details for the broadcast. Really appreciate everybody who helped get things going for us here. Scott just rolling off the pit lane, trying to get up to speed now through turns 3 and 4. As Ian Baker going to move to the inside. Brad Allison was trying to come to pit lane. That was a close call. So Brad going to go a lap down here. He'll bring it to the pit lane. Most likely will lose at least one more lap. So the late pit cycle not working out so well for him, but still right now in the top 10. Might lose a couple spots as they cycle. Man, what can you say about Ian Baker here tonight? 91 laps led. Started on the pole, and he has been the car to beat all race long. Trevor Earhart, though, keeping that margin under 3 seconds so far after this pit cycle. And maybe he's found something now. That margin just jumps up, though. In third place, James Loveland, once he got the damage repaired and started to settle out here, it's been 11.5 seconds or so back to James. So I think if we got a caution, the 56 might have something for the 88, but he is just well too far behind right now, and very few cars on the lead lap. Douglas Wolkett, as we do have a yellow flag, it's the 97 of Trevor Earhart. Maybe got in a run in there, but Trevor Earhart second. He's going to spin it out here. Let's take a look. Taking a look here at Trevor. He got real loose out of turn number 4. And then down into 1 and 2. The, let's see what is that, the 83 of Scott Stouffer up high. Oh, and Trevor just gets loose. Makes contact with the 83, goes around, tags the inside wall. The 83 of Stouffer trying to hang on to it in front of traffic. He does, but kind of a bizarre incident. I think Trevor might have overheated the tires. Let's get another look at this. The 83 just up there. And then, yeah, he kind of caught that bump, overcorrects a bit, tags the 83. Able to keep it somewhat pointed in the right direction for Trevor, but big damage on the left side as he's going to have to use up a fast repair here if he has not already used it. And it looks like, not sure if he had it set to work or not, but still damage showing on that race car. And I think he may have already used it. So James Loveland, he'll get back in contention now. Nathan Morris going to be the lucky dog, I believe. So good job there by Nathan, and that's going to cycle potentially a few more cars onto the lead lap if they take a wave around. But over 20 laps on the tires, probably not going to work out too well. Huffstetler is going to bring it down. A few other drivers, looks like Jake Williams did bring it down. Kevin Orlando Jr. and someone else there behind him. Right now, Ian Baker, though, I mean, he had this thing won, and it'll be less than 15 laps to go when we get the green flag again, so that changes everything. Who is going to win here tonight? Give your vote in chat. Let us know. I don't want to curse anybody with the commentator's curse, so I won't pick anybody, but probably going to do more of a generalization. It's probably someone in the top 5. It's so hard to make good, clean passes here, but if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it early in this short run, and everybody on equal tires. And what a bummer for Trevor Earhart, who ran so well. Still has the damage on the race car, I believe. Yeah, a lot of left side damage, some right side damage, a mistake out of turn number 2, making contact with Scott Stouffer. And Stouffer, I'm not sure if he's been able to use a fast repair or not. He's going to pull into his pit box here. See if they are able to quickly repair that. Does not look like it, so he's going to sit and get more damage cleaned up. So we work under our first caution, really, of the night. Take a look here, 2 cautions. The first one, though, more of a precaution, or not a precautionary thing, but more of a administrative detail, as they let Scott Kerberg get out there and get out there and lead some honorary pace laps. But this your first caution for an incident here. We did have kind of a close call at one point, but the drivers all able to save it and keep them pointed, going in the right direction. Only 3 lead changes here. One was at the front. It was Kerberg, and then Ian Baker took the lead away, and then I think we've had one other driver. It might have been Brad Allison taking the lead from Ian during the pit cycle, and then Ian taking it back. So I think those are the 3 lead changes. And it will be 13 laps to go. And right now, Ian Baker, your leader, has dominated this race. At one point, drove out cleanly to a 6.5 second lead. And that second fastest car, Trevor Earhart, he is now damaged and back at 7th. But it's James Loveland, the season champion from the Underdog Racing League. Does he have anything to challenge Ian here? Green flag back in the air. And we're underway here. A nice short run to the finish, hopefully. And Loveland not getting off to the best restart. He'll go toe-to-toe with Dylan Walterman, but Dylan not able to make it work down low. Loveland up high, going to be able to slip on past. And does he have anything for the 88? They were pretty well matching lap times late in that run. So he is going to have to dig deep and find something to get up there, as the 88 of Ian Baker, a little high up the racetrack, kind of missed the corner. And that allows the 56 to close up, but he gets a little bit squirrely out of turn 2. And down the back stretch they go. Ian Baker in the lead, James Loveland trailing as they've started to pull away from Dylan Walterman, though, and he's battling it up with Justin Stunard for that final podium position. Douglas Wolkett right here behind these guys in the top 5, and he's trying to get up there in the mix as well. Loveland, though, does he have anything to challenge the 88? He's stayed within touch now, 0.4 of a second. But Ian Baker is on rails here tonight, cannot be stopped. There's now 10 laps to go in this race. Over the bumps through 1 and 2. Ian Baker perfect through there, no issues, and Loveland not able to gain. But your top 2 on the racetrack right there. Half a second, and then it's about a second back to Walterman, still under pressure from Stunard. And the 33 has not been able to make that pass just yet. Trevor Earhart struggling. He's got some more damage, I think. Let's take a look. He, lost it off of turn 1, made contact with Kevin Orlando Jr., it appears. Up out of turn 4, tags the wall, bounces down. Oh, the 27 didn't make contact. Hofstutler, what a good job avoiding the wreck there. Let's go to the nose here. As Orlando, oh my goodness. Kevin Orlando Jr. able to keep it off the fence. as they continue on. And at the front, it is still Ian Baker pulling away 6.5 tenths now. It's looking like that 88's well on his way to victory tonight. But James Loveland still close enough in case the 88 makes any kind of a mistake. Those two driven away from the rest of the pack. And Stunard with a mistake. He's going to lose a couple spots. And that moves Douglas Wolkett up to the 4th position. Jordan Berry up to 5th. Jake Williams currently the lucky dog car if a caution does come out. But just 5 laps to go. 5 more for Ian Baker to capture the victory here in the RDK Bikes for Tykes 125. Starting on the pole, he has led 106 laps, coming to 107. And only 4 more after that. But he almost tags the wall out of turn 4. That's going to close the margin just a little bit. Can't make too many more mistakes like that. But he got big loose out of turn 4. And the more you do that, the looser and looser it'll get. As the margin back down to 6.5 tenths. It was up over 7 tenths last time. And he has got to be careful. Loveland's so consistent back there, but not quite quick enough. 3 laps to go. The margin right around 6.5 tenths. As they are starting to catch some lap traffic, that could play a factor on the last lap. Who is that up there in front of the 88? Looks like the 97. Is it Earhart? I think it is Earhart. That car heavily damaged. Ian Baker not far behind, so I don't know if they'll catch Trevor, just because Trevor has had pretty good speed here tonight. Even with all that damage, he's a good margin ahead. But Ian Baker coming to that white flag. The 88 machine dominant here tonight after a runner-up last week at Texas. Can he close it out? Just 3 more corners for the driver of the 88. Out of turn number 2, down the backstretch, 2 more corners, and he's going to have that checkered flag in hand. Ian Baker out of turn number 4. He's going to win at Iowa Speedway for the Upper Hudson Coffee RDK Bikes for Tykes 125. That is a mouthful, but congratulations to Ian Baker. 111 laps led from starting on the pole. Absolutely dominant performance. He wins by nearly 7 tenths over James Loveland in that short little run there. Congratulations to Ian for the victory here tonight. Gonna see if we can get a word in with some of these guys for the post-race interviews, and we'll try and jump into that straight away. And we do want to get Scott Kerberg in here if we can. They are all doing burnouts on the front stretch. Everybody's celebrating for charity. Once again, exclamation point Tykes, T-Y-K-E-S. As they burn it down on the front stretch. Look at this. This is pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever really seen anything like this. They're all running into each other, burning it down. This is pretty sweet. All tearing it up. We got engines blowing, people crashing. That's a lot of fun. Now let's see if we can get Ian in here. As they all tear down the front stretch here. Tons of tire marks, tons of smoke. And Ian Baker, your winner in tonight's race. 111 laps led. Still trying to see if we can get a word in with him here post-race. dominating performance from Ian. And once again, we'll give you some more information. Use code !Tykes in chat like we just did there. You can get the link to donate. Once again, tonight's race, the Upper Hudson Coffee RDK Bikes for Tykes 125, honoring the memory of Ron Kerbert, as well as supporting the charity Bikes for Tykes. We've donated 19 bikes so far and looking to donate some more. And check out that link to be able to get involved. We'll see if I can pull any of these guys in. Doesn't look like I am going to be able to do that. So we're going to cut quickly to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with the post-race interviews.
Blessings to all of you who have participated in the cause Bikes for Tykes, honoring my husband, Ron Kerbert. Because of your good donations, we have 14 bikes to donate to children this Christmas, making their Christmas a happy one. Thank you so much.
V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to be broadcasting the Below the Double Yellow 2020 Cup Series, starting July 30th, Thursdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
All right, and back at the racetrack now with our race winner, Ian Baker. This is Adam. You got a copy?
I got.
Well, Ian, runner-up last week in the season finale. You were definitely not runner-up here tonight. You had a dominating performance in that number 88 Valvoline machine, leading 111 laps. You obviously had this place figured out. You were doing something different, but can you give us a little insight onto what that was?
I don't really know because I've never really been too great at Iowa, but I just figured. I guess I figured out mid-race to save how to save tires, and I was saving better than anybody else because on the long run, that's where my car would be the best. Yeah.
Yeah, you drove away from the pack. You were 6.5 seconds out in front of Trevor Earhart, who was, keeping pace with you, kind of on that short run, like you said. But on the long run, you were a tenth or two faster every lap. And man, what a performance here tonight! Looking like in that Alex Bowman scheme, looking like him at Auto Club earlier this season, where he had a dominating performance. But what does it mean to follow up? A couple runner-up finishes in the end of the year, and then win a charity race here tonight.
It means a lot, especially for all the bikes and everything that we've donated to Bikes for Tykes, and just all the league members for coming together and just putting this on is great.
Yeah, definitely an awesome cause, and you put on a great show for us here. You absolutely on an island all by yourself all race long. Were you worried there at the end that they might be able to get to you with such a short run to the finish?
I definitely didn't want a caution. That's one thing I didn't want. But yeah, James had pace. He was up there. He was pretty good. But I just tried to hit my marks and stay clean, and it worked out.
Definitely worked out for you here tonight. You take home the victory in the RDK Bikes for Tykes 125. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Scott. He's the one that put all this together, one that thought of this idea. We all just rode along for this fun ride that we've had. I just want to give a shout out to him.
Awesome, Ian. Well, congrats on the win here tonight. Go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was race winner Ian Baker. Let's go to second place finisher James Loveland. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, James, you were very quick here tonight. Almost had a shot at a win, just 7/10 back at the conclusion of this race. But we saw you catch the wall a little early, kind of lost some speed, and then you found it there once you got the car repaired. Did the damage really make that much of a difference?
I think it did. I was trying to let the 94 Sean by, and I went a little too high in the corner and smacked the wall. But yeah, I just had a rough start and just try to work my way back up. I had solid pit stops, and I was picking up speed towards the end of that race, and other guys were making mistakes on pit road, so I think it really worked out well.
Yeah, definitely. We're keeping pace there, especially the mid portion of the race. I think you were about 11.5 seconds back, but it wasn't shrinking or growing. You were really just keeping pace with the leaders. And was that a bit of a confidence booster, knowing that maybe if something came out, you were gonna have a shot at it?
Yeah, when that caution came out, I thought I had a chance, but Ian was just as quick as I was. We just kept the same gap the whole last 15 laps or so it was. So yeah, he had a great performance. He drove really well, and I was trying to catch him, but we couldn't gain or lose on him.
Yeah, definitely a good speed from both of you. You pulled away from the field over 2.7 seconds back to the car behind you. So definitely very, very quick here tonight. And regular season champion a week ago, a second place here tonight, not too shabby whatsoever after starting in that second spot. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, definitely Scott. It's great that he did this event and help out kids this year with the Bikes for Tykes. It's been a rough year for all of us, and especially those kids for Christmas. So it's great that he's donated these bikes, and yeah, they're the real winners today. And also thank you guys for broadcasting this event. So
yeah, and thank you for putting on a show for us, and a great season all year long with the Underdog Racing League. And yeah, great cause here tonight. So go celebrate that runner-up finish, and hopefully we can talk again soon.
Thank you.
All right, that was James Loveland, second place finisher. Let's go to third place now. Mr. Dylan Walterman. This is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy.
Yes.
Well, Dylan, you said right before we went on the air here, you felt like you didn't have a third place car, but you come out of here a nice solid podium finish after starting in that 8th spot. How did you make up those spots there in the last little run?
Like James said earlier, all the mistakes that was happening on pit road, I was able to capitalize on it. And then if it wasn't for Trevor having the trouble with the lap car, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have been here. But it was a good run. I'm not a fan of Iowa Speedway, but I did it.
Yeah, we did see a lot of mistakes on pit road. It looked like either speeding or unsafe entry or exit. Was there something to getting on the pit lane here tonight?
That pit lane just kind of jumps out at you. You can't really predict it unless you slow down enough. And I just took it cautiously and slowed down halfway through the corner just so I didn't have a problem.
Yeah, definitely worked out for you. We saw probably about a half dozen drivers throughout the race have a mistake, and such a long green flag run, no time to recover. But you were able to take advantage up here in P3 in this charity race tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for the podium finish?
You guys with helping us with broadcasting it, and then Scott for coming up with the idea to help us get it out there and then get the awareness out there. And it's a great cause, and I've thought about doing races like this, but I just never really knew how to get going to it. So props to Scott for letting us do it.
Yeah, definitely an awesome event, and I'm excited to hopefully check out a bit of the race that's going to be happening tomorrow as well as a follow-up to this. But in the meantime, you finished third here, so go celebrate that podium, and we'll catch up with you soon.
I will take it. You have a good one, too.
All right. And that was Dylan Walterman, and the last person we want to talk to here tonight, Mr. Scott Kerberg. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, Scott, this whole event, you're the brains behind the operation. It's such a great cause that you guys are working for here these couple of nights, and 19 bikes donated. Such an awesome thing that so many people have gotten behind you and have helped to make this possible. But anything you want to say about the event, about what's going on, and how people can get involved?
I tell you, first of all, I wanted some way. My dad passed away in January. I wanted some way to honor him, and he always did great things for kids. And I kept hearing on the radio here in Fort Dodge about Bikes for Tykes, and it pulled at my heartstrings. And I said, you know what, we're going to try this. And I brought the idea to Justin, and I said, I just need some help with this. I said, I'm hoping to get $5 an entry, get 10 to 15 guys, and maybe some will give some extra, and maybe we'll be able to donate 3 bikes. These guys came forward, and man, they shattered it. They shattered it. The dealership, every time I brought a bike in, they were celebrating it. I know the guys were waiting for the next pictures to come up with the bikes. I've become pretty good at assembling bikes, so I know that if all else fails, I can pick a part-time job assembling bikes. And then these guys really shocked me with what they did to start the race. It really, I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, definitely a cool sight to see you out there pretty much on the track all by yourself. You got to lead 10 laps, and you were up there. You held off Ian for a good solid 3-4 laps, and that was pretty cool to see. You come away here with the 14th place finish, and that's probably the least of what you were concerned about here tonight. Such an awesome cause.
Yeah. I told a lot of people, I said, hey, I don't care where I finish tonight. I could wreck on the first lap and destroy my car. And I've already won. I won 19 times for those 19 kids.
Yeah.
So to me, this tonight was the icing on the cake of everything.
Yeah, it's such an awesome cause. And, you had said 14 bikes the other day, and that's even what your mom had recorded, and that was only a few days ago. 5 more bikes within just a couple of days. That's just an incredible amount of generosity from everyone involved, and hopefully that number continues to grow. And maybe this
Yeah, they're still taking donations. Where they picked up bikes, so they're not taking them at the dealership anymore. But I'm able to talk to the radio station, which is another component of that, and we'll get the money to them so they can fill in and help these kids out, because it's been a tough year. It really has.
Yeah, 2020 has not been easy, and kids with, not being able to go to school and see their friends or necessarily be able to play outside and do things that they otherwise would be able to, definitely going to make their year. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast how much riding bikes meant to me as a young kid. It's a piece of freedom. It's for a lot of drivers, it's probably our first experience understanding speed and learning to enjoy that kind of thing. So you're definitely going to make some kids' days, their years, maybe even make a huge impact on their life. So just an awesome cause here, and I want to thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. And
I appreciate you guys you guys doing the broadcast and everything like that, and making this an extra special broadcast.
Yeah, it's definitely been a fun one, a new experience for me to be able to do something like this, and hopefully we can maybe have opportunities to do this in the future, and maybe this becomes an annual thing.
That's my plan, is an annual thing. We're racing tomorrow night in the trucks at Iowa Speedway, and it's because Iowa Speedway was the track that Dad and I went to. But I've already got in my mind, NASCAR is going to Knoxville. I tested our Eldora setup at Knoxville, and I think next year the races are going to be Iowa in the Cup cars and Knoxville in the trucks.
That'll definitely be fun to watch. Iowa is one of my favorite tracks. I'm glad you picked this one, and to hear the sentimental value. That's it's really cool that you picked this one, and definitely looking forward to more in the future. And can't go too far out though. Still need people to continue to try and donate here, and we do have the link in the chat, !Tykes. So you can get involved in that. But Scott, thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of this and take some time here at the end. And any final words before we let you go join up with these guys again?
Just a huge thank you to everyone involved. I mean, yeah, I had the idea, but I couldn't have done it without all these guys. Guys who came out to the practice races when we were testing this setup. We were even worried because iRacing had a major setup this morning, our update this morning, and we weren't sure what it was going to do to our setup. And fortunately, we tested it out, and the cars still ran well. So,
yeah, definitely was a fun race here to watch. We had a bit of drama there towards the end, which kind of shook things up. But yeah, definitely
that's racing. Yeah. That's racing. And I think we only had 2 cautions. So
yeah, really only 1 actual caution. So
that's right.
Great bit of racing, green flag run, and definitely a good show. So thanks again, Scott, for allowing us to be a part of this, and congrats on being out front there for a bit. That was a fun little entertaining time. You were one of only a few leaders tonight, so gotta take that with you, and hopefully you have a successful event tomorrow night. We'll definitely share out as much information as we can to get involved, but thank you so much again, and have a great rest of your night.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Scott Kerberg, finishing in the 14th position, but again, that is the least of what he cared about here tonight. And your winner right there alongside of him, Ian Baker, he dominated this race, fully deserving of the victory, and great follow-up to his runner-up finishes in the last few races of the season. Let's go to the rest of our results and head on out for the night, and we'll let you know how you can get involved a little bit more once again. Ian Baker, dominating performance. He leads basically the entirety of this race. Just 2 cautions. The first one to get the field all stacked back up after Scott Kerberg's honorary laps out front. 3 lead changes in tonight's race, showing just how dominant Ian was, leading 111 laps. James Loveland had a shot at it there at the end, was able to keep pace with the 88, but just not able to catch up. Dylan Walterman finishes in 3rd, a great run from him. 4th was Douglas Wolcott. 5th was Jordan Berry. Justin Stunard, a nice solid 6th position. 7th was Nate Morris. 8th was David Buell. 9th, Trevor Earhart, after running runner-up for a majority of this race. He got involved in a couple late incidents. Kevin Orlando Jr. rounds out the top 10. And actually, the first car 1 lap down. So only 9 cars on the lead lap. That also shows the dominance here by Ian tonight. 11th place was Jake Williams. 12th was Brad Allison. 13th, Lance Durham. 14th, Scott Kerberg. 15th was Kyle Hosley. 16th, Sean Huffstutler, who also had a couple mistakes on pit road. Christopher Heitz finishes 7th. Scott Stouffer in 18th. 19th was Ryan Sams, and rounding out the top 20. And final starter in tonight's race, James Willis. Nick Alvis didn't take the field. He was scored 21st. But once again, a fantastic event here. If you want to get involved, use !Tykes. You see it on the screen there. We want to thank Upper Hudson Coffee for getting involved. Check them out using !UHC. We'll type that in for you guys. You can check them out on Facebook. Go give them a big like or follow, and support those guys as well for coming on board for tonight's race. And that's going to do it for tonight's event. That's going to conclude our broadcasts with the Underdog Racing League. We want to thank all of those guys for allowing us to be involved and to be involved in the event here tonight. Such a great cause once again. And thank you to everyone who came out, watched, followed, liked, subscribed. And we will be back here tomorrow night with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. It's going to be the elimination race at Talladega to see who makes it into the Final Four at I think it is Homestead. Yeah, either way, the finale is going to be coming up next week, and right now we have 2 of the 4 locked in AJ Stravato and Nick Starling. So we're going to find out who the next 2 are to join in. If you enjoyed the broadcast, please consider following or subscribing. Check us out on all of these different social media outlets. We will be doing a merch giveaway when we get to our follower goals right here on Twitch and on Twitter as well. So check those out. We're aiming for 200 followers on Twitter, 400 or 500 here on Twitch, and we are well on our way there. Check out race replays over at YouTube on the V-Speed channel. You can also find race updates and weekly updates throughout the off seasons here. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well as Twitter for those updates. And if you're interested in any sim racing services, we offer custom design work, custom merchandise, and much more alongside our broadcasting services. So check us out at vspeedsim.com and see how we can take your iRacing experience to the next level. And want to thank everyone once again. Let's see who we can jump in with to conclude tonight's broadcast, and we are going to jump in with Mr. Justin Botello. So a good friend of the V-Speed channel. Check him out, and have a great rest of your night.